Still got snow on those slopes over there. Kind of surprised. It's mostly melted off everywhere though. North facing slopes still have some snow on them. There's some rough road up here. First week of March. I'm getting started with my turkey scouting. Get through this rut. But yeah, right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of driving this back road here, seeing if I can't spot any birds. It's about 8 in the morning. They should be down off their roost. I haven't seen any yet, so I might have to get out and do a little legwork. Yeah, but that's okay, because one of the reasons I came up here today is to break in this new pair of snake boots. A great way to start scouting a new hunting area for turkey, or for deer for that matter, is to just get a map of the area and spend some time driving the roads that run through the area for access, and driving slow and seeing if you can spot any turkey or deer. I didn't spot any creatures this morning. It's kind of cold. It's early season, early March. It was 28 degrees when I got up here. But I'm not going to let that discourage me, because I actually used to hunt this area. It's been quite a while. It's been a couple decades since I've been back in here. Used to hunt back in here. Used to shoot grouse back in here. Taking a few turkey off of here. Took a deer with my bow. After a while I noticed the grouse weren't here anymore, and I started having a lot of pressure in here with me. A lot of other hunters, day hikers, just people out enjoying the outdoors, people looking for mushrooms. That's not surprising. It's near a major metropolitan area, and I kind of quit hunting back in here. I figured if I had to put up with competition near a major metropolitan area, it'd be just as easy to do it on the WMA 20 minutes from where I live. So I've been hunting down there more often than up here. But I've seen some big flocks of turkeys back in here. In fact, that's why I started hunting here for turkeys. When I was hunting deer in here, I had a flock of about 20 of them wander up my underneath my deer stand one fall. So I have taken birds back in here. Took a few. Brought a friend up here. Took him on his first experience hunting turkeys, and got him a bird on the last day of the season. That's Mike. He shot our trout fishing video a few years back with us. I'm sure you've seen him on a few videos. That's another plus this area has, is it has trout fishing available. You can get up here on the slow morning. It doesn't hurt to keep a fish rod in the back of the car with you, right? Maybe catch a few trout if you're not having luck hearing gobblers. But I figure I'm going to give this a try again this year, because my dad, Dana, and I stepped in as caretakers. Lots happened in the past few months. I know we haven't had a lot of videos out, and I wanted to put one out just to let you know that we're going to try to get back on track this spring, get back into production. But when my mom passed last fall, it kind of shut everything down for us for a while. Dana and I have had to step in as caretakers for my dad. He's 92. And he's doing real good, but he's a little mobility impaired. He needs some help around the house, so we're kind of taking turns with her and my mother-in-law to give him a little extra help. And I'm glad we can be there to do it. So I don't know how much production we're going to get done this spring, but we're going to do what we can. But that's why I'm here. This area is closer to where my father lives, and Dad's okay getting around. I can slip out for a few hours in the morning, try to get a hunt in if I'm up here. Now, one thing you can do if you're scouting an area that you think or you know gets a lot of pressure is to do a little hiking before you even get started scouting. It's been a long time since I've been in here, so it's like I'm starting fresh. And what I did was, while I was driving, I found an area down over this way, a mile or so, that's kind of flat and overgrown. It looked like it might be good nesting cover. I continued on down the road, and I found a spot back over here where I could park and hike up a really steep hill. And I'm about a mile back in here over on the back side of that ridge where I saw the overgrown area. Now what that's going to do is when you come up a steep ridge or hike for a mile or so back into the woods, I guarantee you, you're eliminating 80% of the competition you'll see in season right there. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to start getting off the trail, because you're never going to find a lot of sign on a fire road or a foot trail. I'm going to dead reckon right across through the woods down towards that other area I spotted and see if I can't pick up any sign along the way. What I'm looking for back here off the trail when you get back in the woods is, we were in open hardwoods, and there are a lot of oaks in here, but it's March now and I'm betting most of the oak drop has been consumed by the wildlife already. So what I'm looking for, overgrown areas like this back here with scrub, mountain laurel, thick stuff. I'm also focusing more attention on east and south facing slopes. That's where the sun hits the most in the winter, and that's where wildlife gravitates to during the cold months. You don't want to scout those slopes that I saw coming in that still have snow on them, the north facing slopes. The game doesn't use that area as much during the winter, and you won't find as much sign there. As I came through the hardwoods, I found this scrub, and it's moving along this big ridge here. It drops off just the other side of it, and that's good too. You want to go for elevation. I know turkeys like to roost up near the ridge tops. If you have pine trees, that's the first place you want to target. Turkey have an affinity for pine trees when the rest of the woods are bare. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing much of that here. So what I'm looking for are taller deciduous trees, bigger, thicker trees with a lot of strong upper branches that turkeys can sit on to roost. I'm going to move along this ridge down in the direction of that scrub, overgrown field looking area I saw driving by. See what I find. So as I was making my way down through the woods there, I spotted a couple pine trees, and they're right on the edge of a steep ridge. So I went ahead and busted a little brush and got back over here. Looks really nice. They're on the edge of this laurel patch and stuff. Turkeys love pine trees. If you got a big grove of pines, that's where you want to start your scouting efforts. So I don't have that here, so I figured I'd come over here and take a look. Sometimes only need a few of them. That's all it'll take, because in the winter when it gets real cold and the rest of the woods are bare, those needles up on the pine trees help block the wind. That's why you can hear the wind coming through it right now. But turkeys will use them in the wintertime a lot. So what you want to do is you want to check the pines, and I walked over here and I'm looking for droppings, which will tell me that a turkey is roosting here. I'm not seeing those. You also a lot of times find scratch right in the area of a roost, because turkeys will fly down, start scratching right away, or as they come up to roost in the evening, they'll scratch and feed a little bit. I'm not finding that here. I'm going to mark this location though, because I may want to check back on it, maybe get in the woods here and listen, see if aren't any birds roosting in here a little later on this spring. I've never actually been over on this side of this particular ridge. I used to hunt the next ridge line over years past. So this is all new to me too. But I'm liking what I'm seeing, because as I come up on this open area through the woods, looks like low cut grass. It's been opened up. Looks like it may have been logged out a while back, and that kind of place is a great area for a tom turkey to go and display in. He'll strut out there. It's almost like an open field back in these hardwoods. Now, if you look closer, the field grades up to the top of the ridge, right out on the point there, where it starts to drop off, right by this big red oak right in front of me here, about 10 yards down. Just to the left there, I spot pine trees. And back in there further, I see some more, about a quarter of a mile down there on the other side, right along the crest of that ridge, which is up. I'll be surprised if I didn't find turkey sign back in there. I'm going to make a beeline for there right now. This isn't what I wanted to find over here. Just making my way down off the ridge, heading for that stand of pines I spotted. Got to the meadow. Right on the edge of the meadow here, I hit this fire road. It's probably what they use to log the area out, but it also makes for really easy access. I spotted this little meadow from the road as I was driving around, and if you do get gobblers in that stand of pine, you can see them right over there. There's quite a few of them, but if they got in there in the spring and started gobbling, I bet you'd be able to hear them from down on the road where I saw this meadow from, which all you got to do is park the truck and shoot up this fire road to get up on this ridge right up here. The spot still looks really, really good. Pines over an opening on a ridge line, right out on the point. So I'm going to head over there and look for sign. It just looks like the place a turkey would be, and if it is a good spot, I've hunted with competition before. All right, I made it back in this patch of pines. You can see it's real thick back in here with mountain laurel, but it's a really nice spot. It's a southeast facing slope. There's no snow here and not much wind, even though the wind's blowing today. It's pretty still back in here. And the problem being is turkey's like a big grouse. He likes to have enough room so he can open his wings and fly out real quick without a lot of obstructions in the way if he has to get out real quick if he gets jumped. Just like a grouse, they want it thick but not too thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down through this laurel and find a couple open spots, because that's the most likely spot that they will fly up or fly down to if they're back in this patch of pines. It is thick in here. And I'm not finding a lot of turkey sign yet, but what I am finding, a whole bunch of deer sign. Looks like deer bedding in this area, and I like that. I'm going to have to make a note of this area, because this is exactly the type of spot the deer will head for on a heavily hunted public hunting area when the shooting starts in the fall. Last year's scrape, love scouting this time of year. The sign from last year stands out like a sore thumb. And if you look right here in this scrape, it's pretty dried out, but it's definitely an old turkey dropping. So I was making my way out from where I found that dried old dropping and the deer scrape, and I was hit the edge of the field and I was taking a shortcut back to the trail. I was going to head back to the truck. I'm a little disappointed that I hadn't found much fresh sign, and I was trying to figure out how to end the video actually, but I think this will do, because as I came out, I found, coming out of the woods here, right into the field, big pile of scratch. You can see it's pretty big. It's too big to be a squirrel, and it goes around a little circle. You can see it's wider in the back where it stood and scratched, and then it tapers down to a V as he walked off, and then he come back around and he scratched some more behind me right here. So that's a good sign. There's a little fresh sign. I mean, this time of year, I like finding any sign because the birds are usually flocked up pretty good. But this seals the deal. I'm definitely going to be back here this spring to give this a listen first thing in the morning. Wow, better and better. This is all scratched up through here. Look at this. Just look at this. Look at this. Quite a little hike there. I hit the trail and I'm heading back out. Get out there this spring early and find a few spots to hunt those turkey yourself. Focus on those pine trees. Get out and look for the sign. Where we're going to go from here is I will be back and do a video on this area. I'm going to get out here early. I think the sign down there along the creek said March 27th when it opened for fishing. So I'll get out here right after that, throw a fishing rod in the back, get out here at first light, see if I hear some gobbling activity, and try to pull a few trout out. Definitely make a video of that for you. That'll be coming up. We want to get the Camo Chair Productions project rolling again this spring. We still have a lot of responsibilities to tend to, but the mother-in-law is going to be coming up. I know Michael has a big road trip planned to do some herping this spring. I'm also talking to another YouTube channel, Obsession Outdoors, and he's expressed an interest in doing some herping to find a few lifers of his own. So have to talk to Michael about that, see if that doesn't work out. I know we've got some trout fishing coming up because this isn't the only stream that opens. So we will be out turkey hunting. Hopefully Dana and I get an out-of-state turkey hunt. We'll try to work that in. But I know I'll be hunting turkeys this spring. There's no doubt about that. Watch a few of our videos from last spring. I'll put the links up right here. And you can see us on YouTube at Sharing the Outdoors, or find us at our website, www.camochairproductions.com. Hope to have a lot coming up for you this spring. We'll see you soon.